Straight ahead on the Daily O, midterm elections are finally here. Find out more about how two key races here in Oklahoma are shaping up. Also, with the winter weather coming right around the corner, we'll tell you how OSU prepares for the chilly conditions. And Cowboy football suffered their first back-to-back loss since 2019. We'll hear what head coach Mike Gundy and his staff had to say. All of this and more coming up on the Daily O. Good evening and welcome to the Monday edition of the Daily O. I'm Grayson Singleton. We're glad you're here with us today. Here in Stillwater and throughout the nation, election week is upon us. Residents have been out to the polls as the midterm elections are being held this week, including a large number of numerous states. More than 41 million pre-election ballots have been cast across 47 states, according to election officials, Edison Research, and Catalyst. Pre-election voting has been ahead of the 2018 midterm pace across the states where there's data available from the last three election cycles. But it's too early to know if overall turnout will reach 2018 levels, since voting patterns and laws may have changed in the last few years. Texas has the most pre-election votes with more than 5.4 million ballots cast. In Florida, more than 4.7 million people have voted, with California at more than 4.1 million. Here in Oklahoma, two key races are being looked at as a major toss-up, starting in the governor's race. Current Governor Kevin Stitt leads by only 1 percentage point over challenger Joy Hoffmeister, 45 to 44%, according to a recent poll from KOCO. The other toss-up lies within the race for state superintendent. Incumbent Ryan Walters and challenger Jenna Nelson are knotted up as Walters holds a 1 percentage point advantage over Nelson, while 17% of voters throughout the state are still undecided. With the elections taking place in the upcoming days, make sure to stay in the loop with the Ocali team, as we will keep you updated on each race throughout the state of Oklahoma. In other news, Twitter CEO Elon Musk is delaying the rollout of its paid Blue subscription at least until after the midterm elections. The plan allows anyone to get that blue check mark for $7.99 a month, just like celebrities. Critics say the new verification feature could have some unintended consequences. To protest the new plan, some celebrities posed as Musk over the weekend. Some, including comedian Kathy Griffin, were suspended on Sunday. Musk tweeted, quote, "Anyone engaging in impersonation without sharing it as a parody will be permanently suspended," end quote. He also said changing a name on an account will result in losing the verification check temporarily. Moving back into Stillwater, the temperatures are slowly beginning to drop down as the winter season inches ever closer. Officials throughout campus continue to prepare themselves to maintain OSU at its highest standard once the cold temperatures and snow come to town. Our own Nathan Shell has a story.
It's now November, and it's beginning to get chilly and stilly. With the temperatures lowering and the chance of precipitation coming in all shapes and sizes, Oklahoma State makes some alterations to their campus during the winter months, both aesthetically and to take measures of precaution.
The topiaries are pulled and put in the greenhouse due to the plants not being cold hardiness. So we bring those in to make sure that they don't die out through the winter over the cold weather. Then the campus during the snow and ice plan, we normally have a meeting. The priority areas are attacked first, getting those cleared as quickly and safely as possible. Safety is our main goal for everyone.
The Landscape Services branch of the Facilities Management team here at OSU assigns 10 different zones on campus to help ensure the protection of Oklahoma State students campus-wide. From a student perspective, there are a lot of different changes that can be observed as the year begins to come to a close.
I feel like someone that's been here for a couple years, I noticed 3 main things that change. The first one is that the fountain in front of the library gets drained. The second would be that the OSU topiary that's around campus gets removed, and then I think the last thing is just that all the little animals stop coming out.
Whether it's rain, snow, sleet, or hail, OSU outdoor faculty has you covered from Boone Pickens Stadium to Greek Row. For anyone interested in seeing the winter plan, it is accessible to the public.
If anybody wants to know more detail on the plan, you can go to our website and pull it up. Go to the FM website, facilities management website, and that snow plan is on the front page.
Stay safe out there, Cowboys. Reporting for Ocali TV, Nathan Shell.
Thank you, Nathan. All right, coming up, we'll take a deep dive into some national headlines throughout the United States. Don't go anywhere. The Daily O will be right back.
Tucked away in the city of Ripley, Oklahoma, the award-winning Washington Irving Trail Museum showcases the heritage and history of Payne County. This museum holds antiques, treasures, and artifacts that one cannot find at any other museum. With hundreds of historical antiques that display OSU history, along with Native American history, the museum has it all. The museum is well known for their book containing pictures and news articles about Frank Eaton, the original Pistol Pete. Dale Kluber opened Washington Irving Trail Museum in 1994 with his collection of historical mementos. This museum is filled from wall to wall with Oklahoman history. The Washington Irving Trail Museum is 15 minutes outside of Stillwater. Experience history at one of Oklahoma's hidden gems.
My name's Kayla. I've been here since the beginning, so 4 years. Scratch is more focused on farm and mostly made in Oklahoma products, keeping it local. Sustainability is our biggest thing. That's one of the reasons why this place opened.
I've been the chef here at Scratch for 2.5 years. Started here as a line cook. Our food and drinks are a bit separate entities almost inside the restaurant. So the food is now up to 85% of the products we bring in are raised or grown locally. It's all based off of things that I grew up eating in southern Oklahoma, the things my grandparents ate.
Fresh food, clean food, organic food, sustainability, that's all of our thing. From front of house to back of house, we're able to maintain both with freshness. But made in Oklahoma means we get it straight from the farms that are 20, 30 minutes, another little county away. We get it straight from them.
You may have been to casinos at some point in your life, but do you really know the truth behind the game you're playing?
And the casinos were very polemic or very controversial when they came out. But the truth was, that's all the federal government gave us.
Casino is owned by the Chickasaw Nation and has roughly 600,000 square feet of dedicated gambling space, making it the world's largest casino. It contributed massively to the Chickasaw Nation posting a net revenue of $1.4 billion for the fiscal year of 2017.
Welcome back to this Monday installment of the Daily O. Grayson Singleton here with you. And let's go ahead and take a look at some national headlines from the weekend. Twitter isn't the only social media platform announcing its layoffs. According to the Wall Street Journal, Facebook parent Meta is preparing to notify employees of large-scale staff reductions. The job cuts are expected to affect many thousands of employees, and the announcement could come as soon as Wednesday. Meta reported having more than 87,000 full-time employees on staff in September. Facebook employees were told to cancel any non-essential travel beginning this week. The 70% slide in the company's stock is being blamed for the layoffs, which could be the largest ever for Facebook's parent company. Getting an updated booster for COVID-19 is likely to boost protection substantially, according to a new study released by drug company Pfizer over the weekend. The news affirms a decision by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration to okay the bivalent booster without first requiring human testing. The booster was tweaked to target the now dominant Omicron variant along with the original virus and was cleared based on studies of a similar shot targeting an earlier variant, according to the Associated Press. To study the new booster, Pfizer compared results for adults who received it to those who received a fourth dose of its original COVID vaccine. The new booster combines vaccines for the original COVID-19 strain and the now dominant Omicron BA.5 strain. The results showed that people 55 and older who received Pfizer's new bivalent vaccine and antibody levels 4 times as high as those who were given another dose of the original vaccine. Those 55 and up who received the new booster had antibody levels 13 times higher than before getting the shot. Younger adults who had not received a vaccine in about 11 months also saw improved antibodies, about 9.5-fold increase. Pfizer said it's too soon to know how much real-world protection the antibodies provide and how long the protection will last. The study is continuing, and a new study suggests children worldwide have been using electronic devices a lot more since the COVID-19 pandemic began. Researchers found between January 2020 and March of this year, kids' average daily screen time use has increased more than an hour and 20 minutes, from about 160 minutes a day to 245. Researchers analyzed 46 studies on nearly 30,000 kids in multiple countries. The ages ranged from 3 to 18, with the average age being 9. Ultimately, the researchers said the increase in screen time may have been temporary for some kids when schools were closed, but in other cases, problematic screen use habits may have been formed. The researchers advised pandemic recovery plans should include how to help children, quote, sit less and play more. And they say it is important to discuss with kids how to balance screen usage with other important daily functions, such as sleep and physical activity. Jimmy Kimmel is coming back to the Oscars. This will be the third time the comedian will host the annual event. Kimmel himself issued a statement saying he is grateful to the Academy for, quote, asking me so quickly after everyone good said no. The only people who have hosted the Oscars more than Kimmel are Whoopi Goldberg, Jack Lemmon, Johnny Carson, Billy Crystal, and Bob Hope. The legendary Hope holds the record for 11 times. Members of the Academy will announce which films have been nominated on January 24th. The 95th Academy Awards ceremony will air live on March 12th from the Dolby Theater in Hollywood. All right, coming up, it's time to go back into sports. Cowboy football comes home following another major defeat in Kansas. We'll tell you what Coach Gundy and his team had to say. Also, we'll dive back in to find out what happened on this day in sports. All of that and more when the Daily O returns.
We would design something, it was set on the counter, and people was either, if enough of them said, you know, this isn't it, it never made to the line. Dad was excited that they're all original. They were all designed on Mom's kitchen table, and it gets in your blood after a while.
We're very happy that Pamela and Michael have taken over the business and kept the family going.
We took the business over in 2017. When we found that it was available, we wanted to keep the legacy of family alive, but it was also incredible products that deserved to be a part of Made in Oklahoma's story. We were a part of Made in Oklahoma years ago, and so it kind of grew as Made in Oklahoma grew.
Oklahoma is ingrained into everything that we did. We've been here most of our life. That's what we entailed our whole business on, was the Oklahoma homegrown feeling.
Ace in the Bowl Salsa started many, many years ago. I was trying to find a recipe to take to a family gathering, and so I started messing around with different recipes, and I took a little bit from here and a little bit from there, and I came up with a salsa that is truly unique. Ace in the Bowl salsa is an olive oil-based salsa with tomatoes, green chilies, green onions, and black olives. There's no sugar added, it's gluten-free, low calorie, low carb, low fat, low sodium. So it's a very, very, very good alternative to any snack you may want. As of right now, I'm just looking to be in Oklahoma and having a successful business within the state. If my grandkids could ever take it over when they're old enough, that would be my dream.
We use the very best of the best ingredients. Demerara sugar is the best that is. Very high quality fruits, berries. The milk we use is the best milk there is. That's what makes our product stand by itself. I like to make yogurt because I like to eat yogurt. We've been doing this for ourselves for many years because it's a tradition in our family. And we want to have a product which would be very similar to French yogurt, but with our touch of uniqueness, linking our name, our product, with the reputation of the Made in Oklahoma Coalition was probably the best thing we have done as far as promoting our product.
Welcome back to the Daily O, and let's dive into sports, and let's start with Oklahoma State athletics. This Monday, Cowboy football continued their struggle over the weekend in the state of Kansas, this time losing to the Kansas Jayhawks 37-16. And our own Connor Bergen has more on what Gundy and his staff had to say.
This isn't your typical Kansas anymore. After not knowing the starting quarterback until kickoff, to then allowing 351 rushing yards, Oklahoma State fell for the third time this season, 37-16 to the Kansas Jayhawks. After last week's historical loss, head coach Mike Gundy blamed the changes in practice as the primary reason. This week, Gundy and his staff now believe there is a different area that needs to be addressed to get this season back on track.
It almost looked like we just weren't fundamentally good at wrapping guys up. We bounced off and got our head down at times, and that's difficult. You know, when you get guys in space like that, you got to be able to get them down. It's not hard to improve. We just need to stay consistent. We need to stay consistent with our drill work and be aware of what happened and why it happened.
Shoot, just the basic tackling, wrap, roll, get them to the ground. Another thing is preventing the big plays, and that's where they come from. You know, just tackling, wrap, roll, get them to the ground. It's that simple. 2 losses in a row like this it's not our standard, and we don't expect nothing else but wins. But we just got to get back to the drawing boards and get back to the basics and just get back to being us.
It's a combination. It truly is. I don't. You know, excuses, man. You can make them all day. You know, like the facts are, okay, man. We're not stopping the run well. So I mean, if you don't stop the run well, you don't get very many throws, right? So I mean, like for us, I mean, the truth is somewhere in there, and what we got to do, man, is work hard to find the truth. That's the way football is. Okay, man. You scheme it, but players make it come alive. They always have and they always will. When it's good, they make it come alive. When it's not good, okay, man, it's the coach. So, I mean, in this case, I take all responsibility.
The Cowboys look to get themselves back into the win column this Saturday back at Boone Pickens Stadium as the Iowa State Cyclones come to town. Kickoff for that is at 2:30 p.m. Reporting from Lawrence, Connor Bergen, Ocali TV.
Thanks for that, Connor. Coach Gundy and the Cowboys will look to get back to their winning ways this Saturday as the Iowa State Cyclones come to town. Kickoff is set for 2:30 p.m. Another major loss doesn't bode well for OSU when it comes to the recent Associated Press poll rankings. Oklahoma State fell out of the top 25 list and the coaches' poll, but OSU wasn't the only team that had a significant change in the rankings. When taking a look into the top movers in the polls for teams that rose up the furthest, LSU stood out amongst the rest, climbing 8 spots to the number 7 position following their massive upset over Alabama 32-31 in overtime. While it was a big week for the Tigers, a few others took a huge hit, falling in the rankings. Following their major victory against OSU, Kansas State took a tumble, falling down 10 total spots to number 23 after a 34-27 loss against the Texas Longhorns. Trailing the Wildcats for the largest fall was a tie between Clemson and Illinois, both falling back 7 spots. The Tigers would drop to number 12 following a 35-14 loss to Notre Dame, and the Fighting Illini would fall to 21 after their 23-15 loss against Michigan State. Keeping things here at Oklahoma State, basketball fans are in for a good one, but not one, but two games at Gallagher-Iba Arena. Cowgirl basketball opens up their regular season against Texas Rio Grande Valley. Tip-off set for 5 p.m., and then 3 hours later, Cowboy basketball hits the hardwood against the UT Arlington Mavericks. Tip-off for that game is at 8 p.m. For those that can't make it, of course, make sure to tune in tomorrow, because the Daily O will update you on everything that happened this evening. Cowgirl tennis wrapped up their fall season this weekend. Leading the charge for the Cowgirls this weekend was Ayumi Miyamoto as the senior advanced to the Big 12 Finals. In the singles quarterfinal, Miyamoto bested Rosalina Gruszinska of Kansas State 6-4, 6-3 before picking up a dominating 6-0, 6-1 victory over Oklahoma's Ramona Sosovska to advance to the finals. The Cowgirls will begin their spring season January 13th through the 15th at the Freeman Memorial Tournament in Las Vegas. OSU will then return home to the Greenwood Tennis Center on January 27th to compete in the ITA kickoff weekend. All right, let's take one final break, but when we return, we'll take one last look at some national headlines. The Daily O will be right back.
Our state is one of the most beautiful and unique states in the USA. With diverse geographies, the historic Route 66, unforgettable restaurants, and some of the greatest people on the planet. With so much to see and so much to do, living in Oklahoma means one of the best vacation spots is right in our own backyard. Doesn't this story need to be told? As filmmakers and photographers based right here in Oklahoma, we thought so. And hey, who doesn't like a good road trip? So, we packed up our cameras, teamed up with Lieutenant Governor Matt Pinnell and the Oklahoma Tourism and Recreation Department, and that's how this series was born. We want to show you why traveling within the great state of Oklahoma is a great idea. So come join us for thousands of miles over the next year, from Broken Bow to Black Mesa. This is the Oklahoma Road Trip.
Hi everybody, my name is Emily Shooping. I'm your marketing coordinator for the Made in Oklahoma Coalition. I'm coming to you with an amazing opportunity. We are teaming up with the Ocali Media Group at Oklahoma State University. We want to tell your story on the following platforms: streaming, newspaper, and digital. This opportunity will not only allow your story to be told locally, but nationally as well. I am so excited for each of you to join in on this tremendous opportunity. This will not only be good for your business, but it will be good for our great state of Oklahoma. You can be expecting an email from me soon with more details about this opportunity. Local has a name, local has a face, local has a flavor. The Made in Oklahoma Coalition.
Over the years, we kind of realized that you can get ribs anywhere, you can get a steak anywhere, but you can't always get a Mountain View hot link like ours. So we really decided to focus on that niche and realized we had something really special. So that's when we started focusing more on the hot links, but it's still the same family recipe they were making all those years ago. For us, many of our people that work here have been with us for years and decades. So whereas machines kind of break down over time, the people just get better. And it shows in the products we produce. When you buy a Mountain View product, not only is it gonna taste dynamite, but you're also feeding Oklahomans. You're helping employ Oklahomans, and you're helping to fund the state's economy. So what's better than that?
final segment of this edition of the Daily O. Grayson Singleton here with you. Before we let you go, let's take one look into your national headlines from the sports weekend. And breaking news this afternoon, a shakeup in the NFL coaching ranks. The Indianapolis Colts announced the dismissal of head coach Frank Reich. Over multiple weeks, the Colts management insisted that Reich's job wasn't in jeopardy, but with a 3-5-1 record over halfway into the season, and coming off a 26-3 loss to the New England Patriots on Sunday, the Colts have decided it's time to make a move. This switch comes just 1 week after the team fired offensive coordinator Marcus Brady and 2 weeks after turning things over to Sam Ehlinger as the new starting quarterback. Reich will finish his tenure with the Colts with a 40-33-1 record, guiding the franchise into the playoffs twice over his 5 years. Former 6-time Pro Bowler Jeff Saturday will take over as the interim head coach. With the Houston Astros being crowned World Series champions Saturday night, the Major League Baseball free agency period has now begun. The New York Mets were quick to react. On Sunday, the Mets and star relief pitcher Edwin Diaz have agreed to a 5-year deal worth over $100 million. Diaz was an electric force for the city that never sleeps, finishing with 32 saves, a 1.31 ERA, and 118 strikeouts in 62 innings of work for a Mets team that won over 100 games. The 28-year-old will continue his dominance as one of the top closers in the entire game, while now setting a price for other free agents as they look to cash in this offseason. Realignment news never ends, and the latest over the last few months since USC and UCLA bolted for the Big Ten, the Pac-12 has been scrambling to add, or maybe not add, teams. San Diego State has been a team that has been mentioned, and this morning, broadcast personality Dan Patrick reported on his radio show that an announcement could be in the very near future. The move would benefit the Pac-12 side of things if they want a presence in the Southern California region for recruiting and television purposes. The conference is also looking to shore up more teams, as Oregon and Washington could be eyeing the Big Ten as well. Stay tuned to the Daily O to see if this report comes to fruition and if San Diego State finally gets the call to a Power 5 conference. All right, that'll do it for our show tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in, and make sure to tune in tomorrow to the Daily O as Emma Lightfoot will keep you updated on everything happening in the world of sports. For the Daily O, I'm Grayson Singleton. Have a good night, everybody.
Hi, I'm Shauna here at Where the Buffalo Roam in beautiful downtown Pawnee, Oklahoma. We have a lot of beautiful and unique items for sale in the store, but our number one items are Navajo jewelry, Pendleton blankets, and Consuela. It's a great place to shop, a beautiful downtown, so come see us in Pawnee, Oklahoma.
My name's Kayla. I've been here since the beginning, so 4 years. Scratch is more focused on farm and mostly made in Oklahoma products, keeping it local. Sustainability is our biggest thing. That's one of the reasons why this place opened.
I've been the chef here at Scratch for 2.5 years. Started here as a line cook. Our food and drinks are a bit separate entities almost inside the restaurant. So the food is now up to 85% of the products we bring in are raised or grown locally. It's all based off of things that I grew up eating in Southern Oklahoma, the things my grandparents ate.
Fresh food, clean food, organic food, sustainability, that's all of our thing. From front of house to back of house, we're able to maintain both with freshness. But made in Oklahoma means we get it straight from the farms that are 20, 30 minutes, another little county away. We get it straight from them.